But I don't like to chill and relax. Like, I want to be working. Like, you have to be obsessed with what you want to become in order to achieve it at a great level.
Dream Supply, giving you the tools and knowledge to make your dreams your reality.
If I say to you, the dream over everything mentality, how does that resonate with you? Like, what impression does that give you? Like,
sounds like it's all or nothing. Sounds like you're gonna accomplish it because that's all you're gonna focus on.
do you think you're there?
No.
No? The dream is not over everything, is it?
I feel like I'm going there.
Percent-wise, where do you think, like, out of 100%, where do you think you're falling in the spectrum?
55% there.
So you're halfway there. As crazy as it sounds, though, I don't feel like I'm there. Like, I feel like I've made some great strides in the past year to really hone in on it. But at the end of the day, or at the end of the week, or at the end of the month, I still feel like there's things that I could have done more to chase it, to hunt the dream, to capture the dream, or whatever. And sometimes I just don't know. Like, sometimes you just have your head down so long chasing something, you don't really realize how far you necessarily have gotten. But, you know, it's like, what do you think? This is important. This is the big important question, is what do you think you need to change to gain the other 45%? Like, if you did serious self judgment, self-analysis to say, to make you all in, what is that? What do you have to do in that other 45%?
I think I need to practice focusing on what I'm doing. And not from like your regular aspect, like what we've been talking about, like distractions. Because even when I'm not distracted.
Yeah, because I think it's two different things. Distractions are part of everyday life and don't have anything to do with your mentality of the dream over everything. I think it's two totally different things.
Yeah, I'm talking about like mental focus on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because I think about so many other things at once.
Why do you think that is? Like, do you feel scatterbrained? Like, it's like you're all over, like you can't just lock into one thing?
Yeah, it's rare that I can lock into one thing.
You know what well, so I don't know if this is exactly like what you're talking about, but like, for me, it's like like I have like creative ADD. Like, I can't work on just one project like for 10 hours in the day. Like, I have to move, like, my brain, you know, I may be able to put an hour, 2 hours in on one thing, and then I kind of got to rotate through it, just because my attention span becomes daunted or whatever. But I'm moving on to another project that's still on the list, so it's okay because I can jump around, and it may be editing a video, and then maybe working on some web development, and then maybe designing a flyer or something like that. So I don't know if that's the same type of thing that you're talking about, or if your stuff is kind of just all over the place.
I have that too, but that's not what I'm talking about.
It's just overall focus.
Whenever like I'm doing something, I'll be doing it, and then while I'm doing it, I go into autopilot and I start thinking about something else, and so it takes away from my ability of what I could be doing.
Gotcha.
I'm not at 100% capacity of the task at hand because I'm thinking about 4 or 5 other things at the same time.
So, and you think that's the layer that's preventing that 45% growth? To be having the dream over everything.
One of the biggest things.
Yeah, I think and I can tell you, I feel like I probably beat myself up over things that people probably would think is crazy, but it was like when I first just like, it just clicked like a year ago. The mentality was just like, by any means necessary, we got to get it done, we're going to make it happen. So it was like, at the time, we had a Lexus, sold it, bought a cargo van, because the dream over everything mentality was like, the Lexus was a bill, it was a payment, it would never earn me money. And just having the van, being able to show up and keep all my stuff in there. I mean, it's just like, all I need is one person to go to my website because it's on the back and book me, and it'll have made me more money than any other car ever in my entire life. And then going into the studio and buying the property, building it out specifically for what we were going to be doing in there. I also had a really bad habit of buying superficial things like expensive shoes and expensive sunglasses and expensive clothes, and buying my wife expensive, like really, really expensive gifts. And it was really just blowing money on things that had like no true value and did not do anything to push us forward towards anything. Like, it was like, oh, we go in the experience of going into a really high-end store and buying something that's like, it's really awesome. It feels, you feel like it's a temporary accomplishment though, because like after you leave the mall and you get home, and then nothing's really different except you may have this like item that does absolutely nothing. Like, I've bought my wife so many expensive purses and all they do is carry stuff. Like, and I was like, this is stupid. Like, it's like, don't get me wrong, like it's a battle for me. Like, because I genuinely like to just shop and buy stuff, and even though I don't need stuff. But I really got into, like, last year, I'm like, if it's not a necessity for life and it's not pushing the dream forward more, I'm not buying it. And I've done really, really well. Like, all of my purchases, with the exception of clothes, have all been towards the business. I've put all in everything, all my money that I've made from projects and jobs, it's all been being dumped in buying a building and building out the building, which has been tough. It's been really, really tough to not just go and spend frivolously on dumb stuff, but it was just those things did. And I'm like, we talk about, oh man, we're gonna get an ARRI, we want to get these higher end cameras that actually will generate a revenue, and you can build a career around having those types of things, and then they also make your projects look awesome. And when I started looking at like the stuff I was buying, I have literally probably, me and my wife been together 15 years, I have probably bought 2 Red cameras worth of purses for my wife. That's crazy when I think about it.
You have 2.
Yeah, not 1, but 2, like fully built. And
Cam and a B cam.
I literally, the last expensive purse that I bought my wife cost more than my entire camera setup.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so
Bro,
go for
it's a purse.
Dude, I know. But it's like, there's a complex that goes into it for me, because I feel like that's how I show, like, because my wife does so much as far as taking care of the household and taking care of everything when it comes to my kids, and making sure that our household bills like are paid on time, and making sure there's food in the fridge, and making sure that, you know, everything, like, I never have to worry about anything at home. And like for me, the way it's just like it registers in my head is like, oh, because I work so much and I work really hard for my money and I buy you something expensive, it's showing like I had to do all this work to give you this gift, and this is how I'm showing. It's like, it's how I show my appreciation, because when in my head, an expensive gift is equated to, it took me 160 hours of working to purchase this, to give it to you as an appreciation type thing. So that's just kind of where my mentality was at. And even though she's never been the one to like ask for, oh, I want this or I want that, and I think that's what made it so much better for me to go and buy the things, because there are things she would never have bought herself. Like, it makes it that much more of an awesome experience because she's never asked for the stuff. I've just went and got her the stuff that she would never ask for. So it was a challenge, man, just trying to curve the whole attitude to be like, nope, that's it. Got to do it. Got to get the building. Got to get the van. Now the studio's almost done. So it's like, okay, now we gotta furnish it. When you start just adding up like the little stuff, like, oh, I probably got to get like 30 different chairs for in there. Like, that shit is not cheap. Like, when you start adding it up, like, because if we're gonna do classes and workshops, we're gonna have to have chairs and tables that come in and out of the studio, plus conference room and chairs, and we're talking about a full multimedia conference room. Like, there's no way on earth I can make this happen if I'm not 2,000% dedicated to making it happen. Like, it requires every resource, not just a financial resource, but every resource I have when it comes to people that are way smarter than me when it comes to business, way smarter than me when it comes to construction or structuring my business for taxes. Like, every resource that I have to be able to lean on to help get us there, and hope that my creativity after it's up and running can pay the bills once it's done. Like, it also requires such like a huge amount of faith in yourself, because literally there is no option for this to fail. Like, it's just not there. It's not an option. I can't even say if, because it's not a possibility. Like, it has to work. There is no other way it can go. So there's a little bit of pressure there, but that's the dream over everything mentality. Like, you have to be willing to go all in on it and do whatever it takes. Period.
Dream, imagine, create. Follow Michael on Instagram at directedbym3.